So whenever you met, are you married?
Yes,
Neil?
I'm married 34 years.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
man!
Thank you.
Wow, that is a damn record almost. Or
Well,
something. You should win a Nobel Prize for that. I feel like.
I met her in relativity class. She
Did
has
you
a
really?
degree in mathematical physics.
Dang.
Yeah, in graduate school. So that was fun.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
met her in relativity. That's wild. So
All right, so you're talking about love.
okay,
What
love. So do you? I mean, do you take these same concepts into like whenever you were falling in love and stuff like that, or was it more like a normal
okay,
thing?
so
You saw her in class.
so the answer is yes, I do. I don't
Wow.
often talk about this. You want to hear it? You want to hear it?
Yeah, well, I'm just curious because I don't have a wife or anything yet.
Well,
But
it's mathematical. Okay, then this could be helpful to you.
okay,
Okay, it could be helpful.
okay.
All right.
At
But
this point, I'll take on anything.
it's a
man.
little bit of mathematical.
Okay.
How much math have you had in school?
I took a couple of them.
You took a couple.
I took at least, yeah.
A couple of.
I was good. I did all right.
You did all right. All
Yeah.
right. You did all right. Okay.
And
By
I
the way,
took one of them at high altitude. I took one class out in Arizona at pretty high altitude.
you know what they say? That if you learn something under certain psychomotor conditions, that you recover it better under those same conditions.
Oh, wow.
Like if you get high and you learn something,
Mhm.
if you get high again later, you remember that better because you match the mental states.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I've read that. I haven't read it lately, but a few decades ago. That was,
Yeah, dude,
that was
like, bro, I think I wrote that. Okay, so I'm glad it made its way
okay.
around.
So here it is. All right, here it is.
All right.
You got to follow me with some math here.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll
ready?
try.
It's not complicated. By the way, I don't know any dumb professional comedians. You all are smart people. You're perceptive. You know what's going on. You have to know deeper what's going on to come at it from the other side and show why it's hilarious. Okay? That takes insight. You guys are the keepers of the soul of the social and cultural mores of civilization.
Yeah, I think a lot of us try to be. Jesus, I don't know what I'm doing, but I think a lot of us try to do our best. You know?
You're holding up mirrors to what we think, say, and do. And so it's a fundamental part, I think, of modern existence, because without it, my gosh, how unpleasant the world would be.
It would
without
be.
these perspectives. So I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm just saying, and you especially have a certain authentic honesty that is palpable. And it's like,
Thanks,
whatever you
man.
say, I'm with you on it. I feel you. This is what
Yeah.
you were saying. Do you feel what the person? If I can't feel what you're saying, go home.
Right.
Right. What are you doing? You just type it up and send, text it to me. If I'm not looking in the eyes, So okay.
Yeah, well, it's helping me because it's like, I think I have I'm not like a naysayer of science. I love, I'm grateful for science because I exist, and I'm grateful that the world exists and that we're able to have all types of different experiences of like caring about each other and getting to travel and see different things, and that my eyes work. Like, I'm super grateful for science. I think sometimes I get I have a fear sometimes of like, if anything's out of like out of like right here, everything else can seem a little bit questionable, so I think it's just it's just probably
the questionable part is because you create your own worldview.
Yeah.
And everything makes sense to you in your worldview, and something's trying to poke it from the outside. You're understandably skeptical of it.
Yeah, I'm probably skeptical a lot.
Or rejecting it because no, I got my thing, my situation. It works for me.
Yeah, and I like to daydream and stuff, So science, sometimes they want to really, hey, bro, we need you to pull these daydreams over here, and we got to tag them. We need to get the weight and the density of these daydreams so we can have them on file. So I respect it, and I'm really, really grateful that you're here. But yeah, so tell me about that when you went into
tell you
love.
About love. So here it is, and this is a little geeky.
Yeah,
it's a geeky thing. So, all right, you can have a line, and you can measure the length of the line. All right, inches, whatever. Okay, that's the only thing you can measure about it. There's no area, there's no volume. It's just a length. All right, now I can add another line at like right angles to it, and when I do that, I can actually trace out a square.
Okay.
So now a square has more than just a length. It has area. Okay, there's area inside the square. And that area is defined by both axes. You need both to get an area. Okay? All right. Let's add a third axis.
Oh, damn.
X, Y, now Z. Now you don't have a line, you don't have a square. What do you have? You have a cube.
Now I'm on mushrooms, I think. So
You
I
have a
feel
cube
you.
that's full. Each of these
Right. So now
is
you're
a
really
dimension. Okay. So
right.
now watch. Now I can take that to higher dimensions, but I won't. I'm going to stick to 3.
Okay.
We can go to 4 and 5 dimensions. Let's stick to 3. So now you ask yourself, what do you care about in a relationship? Okay. You want the person to look hot? Nothing wrong with that. Make a note of that. Okay. You want the person to be good in bed? Okay. That's just fine. Be honest with yourself. That's another. By the way, you can be hot and not good in bed.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
or vice versa. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are separate coordinates.
Okay.
Okay. So all right, now watch. Let's get a third one. You want the person to be kind, let's say. Kind. You don't want an evil person.
No,
Okay.
no,
Now,
no.
so each of these is completely separate from the other.
Yeah.
You can be beautiful and evil. You can be ugly and kind. But you care about those 3.
Right.
So now rate this person from 0 to 10 in those 3 categories. Just go ahead and do that. So you say, person's really kind and they're great in bed. I'm only give them a 5. Okay, in looks. They're great in bed and they're kind. All right. Here's what you do. You know how you get the volume of a cube? You multiply x by y by z. Okay. The area of a square is x times y. The area of the volume of a cube is you multiply all 3. I'm telling you to take those 3 numbers, multiply them together. You will get the volume of your love. The volume of what you care about. Okay.
Dang, bro.
So now watch. Now here's my point. What you need to do is, because presumably if you're in the field, there are different people out there. Get each person's volume and go after the person that has the largest volume. Because they might be higher in one than the other. But if you really care about them, it's the totality of that package that matters. Especially in a relationship, those features don't always stay the same. They could vary.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Some
they
people
grow,
get better looking as they get older, or you might get more attracted to them, or less attracted,
or less
to
attractive. So there's
them.
variance.
They might
there.
learn different skills,
But
outdoor
often
skills.
some of them get less.
Yeah, it's a mix.
It's a mix. So let's say they get a little less attractive, but the other bits were strong. So you have a volume, a strength of a larger volume to work against.
Okay.
If things start shifting.
Okay.
In this. Okay. I'm telling you, you can take that to higher dimensions. So, where are they bed? What are they hot? Are they have maybe a good sense of humor? Something you might value.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Are they curious? Do they want to keep learning? Okay.
That's important.
Do you value? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? All right.
Because I want them to keep learning about me because.
Or no, that's just no. That's selfish.
Interested.
Just if they're curious. You're part of what they want to keep learning.
Okay, that's
about.
fair.
Don't
that's
focus
fair.
on no,
My bad,
dude. Come
on.
No,
you're right.
Okay, so I went around with a 5-dimensional. So in math we call it 5-dimensional vector space.
And this what you took in your love life?
Yeah, so that's what I did.
Damn,
okay,
boy, Neil rolling up.
So what I'm saying is there could be someone who's the hottest person you've ever seen, and you could be distracted by that and say, I'm marrying that person. And then they're not so hot 10 years from now, or they get a little chubby, whatever you're valuing or not valuing. And then all of a sudden, everything you married the person for isn't there anymore. And then you divorce 7 years later.
So you got to look at that volume.
Got to look at the volume. And by the way, be crass if you want to be crass. Do you want to marry someone who's wealthy? Put that in there too.
Put it in there.
Okay. Don't be ashamed of that.
Right.
Because any one of these can change. People say, oh, I want just, that's shallow. You need a personality. People's personalities can change.
Why are we sometimes ashamed to look at the criteria we honestly want to look at?
I got through that. I matured out of that. Because society wants you to not want that. And if someone is honest, I like your wealth. I enjoy it. And by the wealth can go away too.
Yeah,
in the same way your looks.
Can.
All the things can. But if it matters too, then it's one of the coordinates in this volume. By the way, if any of those go to 0, because the volume is a product, you're multiplying these numbers. Right. If any of them goes to 0, the volume goes to 0.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, because you're
not adding them, you're multiplying them.
Wow.
So try to make sure that the likelihood of it going to zero is, or if it does go to zero, if you don't matter, then it shouldn't have been in the
right. It
in
has
the.
to be things that nothing could go to zero. So then, but and if you do that, then you're probably going to be picking things that have some real value to you, or
Correct,
overall value,
correct, and
objective
or
value.
just be honest. I just want money, and if you run out of money, I'll divorce you.
Right.
And but the person could be fun and happy the whole other time.
Oh yeah, they're buying sandwiches for everybody. Y'all are having a good time or whatever.
I don't, that's people are their own individuals.
So what happened though,
Why pass
Neil?
judgment
What
on
happened
others?
when you got the lady? You invite her out. Where'd you take her? Where do you?
Oh, well, we were graduate students at the time, very poor, so a big meal is like a $12,
Oh yeah.
dish. And uh, so, I have to say this if I'm airing all the thing. So I took her for granted initially,
Oh.
and we broke up initially. And then like 6 months later, I said, what the hell did I just do? Oh my gosh. I went back to that volume and I said, all these other people are not filling that volume the way she did. And I was really sad.
Did you go back to her and tell her?
I could, because I broke up. I can't, what are you gonna do? You can't do that. She knocked on my door. She came back to me.
And what'd she say?
And I don't remember, because I was distracted by the fact that, oh my gosh, I have a second chance here. And
Wow.
so on that second chance, that's when we moved in together and got married 3 years later.
And you didn't mess it up the second time.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
And the strength of a marriage is how big is that volume? Because yes, they will vary, and people will get crabby, and people, there are things that will test it, of course.
What's something that you and your wife like to do together? Is there anything like that you feel like helps keep a marriage together over time? Is there
You do
any?
things together.
Yeah.
You just and do new things together,
Hmm.
so that you have a new memory to add to the portfolio. If you always do the same old things, it can get, you see the person every day of your life, right? And so just make sure it grows.
Do you guys take like classes, or is there stuff like do you just take walks? Like what are some fun
Yeah,
stuff?
we do take walks. In
Yeah.
fact,
I used to take walks with my ex-girlfriend. I liked it.
yeah, walks are simple. They're low budget.
Oh yeah. Like, honey, I'm about to take you on this walk.
And
Every
not
step sounds like I'm saving money. Every single step. Let's go another block. Sure.
It's an incidental fact about it, not the instrumental fact. Okay. Hey, baby, I love you because every step is cheap. No, that's not going to fly.
Let's go.
Is that why you're not married yet?
Yeah, it could be probably. I gotta start investing more. In my
Here's the thing:
relationships.
all our fairy tales, you see the courtship, which is so romantic and beautiful, and how do those fairy tales end? What's the final word? The final phrase.
The end.
No, before that.
Oh, happily ever after.
They live happily ever after. Wait a minute. Why don't you show me some of that?
Oh yeah, that's true. Huh?
Give me some hints. How do you pull that one off?
Yeah, like Rapunzel, they don't show you that she's selling her hair in China. You know what I'm saying? They don't show you the odds and ends of it.
Leave that one out. So we're trained in the courtship. And
they don't show you that Snow White has an opioid addiction. They don't show you some of the truth behind this stuff, man.
Dealing with actual life problems and challenges.
Yeah. Or that Goldilocks is into bestiality. They don't show you some of the truths out there, Neil. Damn, you're right, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
They just gave us.
Goldilocks is sleeping with the bears. It's whatever.
I know. They don't tell you that she has a crush on Gail Sayers. You know, they don't tell you she's out there been running around with Jim McMahon. They don't tell you all of that,
right? So we have no literary life experience, even thinking about what happens beyond they lived happily ever after. So you have to sort of discover that on your own.